riveted. I'm
And this is amazing. We're gonna set 3 minutes on the clock.
Let's do it.
3 minutes on the clock.
This is making history.
And it all begins now. Roast it.
Justin does a freestyle hip hop because nobody's gonna pay for that shit.
Gagootz, you look like Sloth in the Goonies before Mama Fratelli dropped him on his head.
Okay.
Justin, calling you an idiot would be an insult to all stupid people.
Gagootz is so old he used to ride a 3-legged horse to school uphill both ways.
Oh, and let me tell you, I'd have slapped you, but that would be animal abuse.
Okay. Gagootz looks like a knockoff version of Chef Boyardee. Chef, nah, I'm good.
Oh, yeah? The last time I saw something like you, I flushed it down the toilet.
Gagootz is younger than my dad, but looks older than my grandfather, and he's dead.
If ugly was a crime, you'd get a life sentence.
My nickname is Struggle, but I'm going to pass it off to you since I watched the last 3 episodes and you struggle to be funny.
Oh, that's an unice.
That's a shot.
That's an unice. I'm going to have to make a phone call now. Why don't you slip into something more comfortable, like a coma?
Gagootz, I'm Irish, and even I know that Italian accent is shit.
Hey, I got this accent from my mama. My mama came from Sicily, and she was learning the language. I'm the only person in my neighborhood who could speak a fluent broken English. Why don't you shock me, Justin, and say something intelligent?
Oh, okay. Obviously, Gagootz is Italian, so I'm going to offend you with this. Pasta's for poor people. Stop putting tomatoes on it and herbs and calling it a delicacy and charging $22. I can name 10 things to do with potatoes that are better than pasta.
Oh, 10 things to do with potatoes. Yeah, like stick them up your ears.
You're always gonna love us sticking up your ass.
Oh, my God.
That's always a win.
You're the reason the Gina pool needs a lifeguard.
That's good. That's good.
Oh, my God.
Gagootz actually means something. If you're from Staten Island, it means crazy in the head. But if you're a mature Italian gentleman, which is not you, clearly, it refers to a long-hanging squash. Ladies and gentlemen, I've seen this man's crotch. He's from Staten Island.
Oh, that's a good. Even I gotta say that's a good one. Justin, you're like a Monday morning. Nobody likes you.
Oh, Jesus!
God.
Look at that hat.
Podcast is a lot of work.
Hey, you telling me? I gotta write. I gotta write the jokes. I gotta steal insults. I gotta put a lien on somebody to give me the insult.
One more each.
I don't know if Gagootz is conservative or Democrat, but I'll tell you what I do know. He looks like he's stuffed with preservatives.
Justin, as an outsider, what do you think of the human race?
That is time, everybody.
Oh, my God.
That was one of the best give and takes we've seen in our show history. So kudos to you, Justin, for holding your own against the Gagootz. Gagootz, what do you think so far of Justin and his battle skills?
I tell you what, Justin impressed me. I thought he was just going to be some sham, some guy living in a refrigerator box behind the place, telling everybody I'm a bigger comedian. But he's doing pretty good. I like him. He's a nicer guy.
Don't give up.
He's a nicer guy.
Thank you.
I give you a meatball
awesome.
hero half a price tomorrow.
Thank you. I
Very
appreciate
nice,
that.
Very nice. A meatball hero for half price. I'm going to go as well. Nigel, what do you think? What do you score?
Oh, my. What am I supposed to think? Gagootz won.
Oh, yeah. Clearly. I mean, clearly, he had me laughing at his jokes. He clearly won. I've watched the show. I know what goes on here.
I'll give you a 6, I guess.
Thanks.
Justin gets a 6.
I'm gonna give him an 8 because if Gagootz didn't have anybody to shit on, he wouldn't be funny. So I'm gonna give him an 8.
True.
Thank you.
An 8.
Thank you.
Wow, very good. Very good. Sally, what do you got?
I'll give you a 7. I thought you held your own pretty well, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's difficult. It's
it's hard.
Listen.
Because he's hitting you with those, simple things.
Yes, I
and
know.
You were
I
trying
watched
to go
the show.
real complex.
I watched the
Oh,
show.
my
And
God.
I tried to keep up with what he does. So that's why I was like, let me just go with this.
Because I know I would have.
I knew what I was dealing with. I knew what I was dealing
I
with.
might have to set that up.
I knew what I was dealing with. I
my God.
definitely didn't expect to come in and win. If that's what you were
Hey,
asking.
I got to cook a book. You know, you got to know book. You got to make it from scratch.
He told you he was a Long Island celebrity. He's been on every pizza box from here to Ronkonkoma.
Well, now we got to switch it up.
That's true.
We got to
Okay,
switch places.
now-
Step out.
While we
Wait,
switch
Kristen's
places,
going to come back.
we're going because now it's going to be Kristen's turn to go up against the
Oh,
Gagootz.
good.
Yes.
Sue, have you
Can't
ever
wait.
had an insult battle like that before?
Have I ever?
yeah.
sorry.
No, I don't do that.
Even with like hanging out with all those tough crowd guys, that,
Oh, yeah, I
like
do
they
not tough crowd.
well, they insult each other all the time, right? That's kind of the thing that the city comics do. How do you to sit at the table? That's where the whole tough crowd started from, right? Colin Quinn and all those guys sitting at the table. Tell me about your years having to do that stuff.
Having to do tough crowd?
Yeah,
Well,
like-
again, being a woman.
All those big personalities.
But the interesting thing about tough crowd, which people didn't realize, is that the men all had a regular spot. They were first of all there were always four men, including Colin, and one woman. And the men had a regular job. They were all regulars there, so they had not only the security of the money, but they had the security of the camaraderie. They built all this camaraderie with each other. And with the women, they would circle us in every once in a while. So people don't understand what they're like. Oh, women aren't fine. Women is this. Like, they don't understand what we have to. We had to be strong enough to go in there and have no. We didn't have a regular job. We didn't have. There were four of them and one of us. And so anybody you saw on that show who was a woman who got circled in like that.
and it's hard to get
It's
tough
really
crowd.
cool, right?
Sometimes it's hard to get your words in edgewise.
So that's how strong we had to be. We had
Yeah.
to be able to never know when we were going to get there. Those guys were there all day, every day with
They
each other
were.
hanging
I didn't
out.
think about it.
Yes,
until you
nobody
said that.
does.
Yeah. And is it kind of like a boys' club back then?
It's always been a boys'
Yeah.
club. That's how. But it's funny because now after 30 years, they've trained me. I've been around. I was on Artie's podcast. I was on Jay Thomas. I was on Tough Crowd. I've been around all the men and I've been around gangs of men with just me by myself. And now the reason why they're all terrified of me is they're like, why isn't Sue flinch?
Right.
Even when I was on the fighter, David O. Russell came out but Christian was shooting the scene where all I had to do was pass the crack pipe to him and walk away. And Christian, he would say the line, and then I would walk, and I was like literally behind the camera, and I was like, I couldn't do anything until he said his word, and then I would just go over, give him the thing, and walk away. And at one point, he added a few extra lines. So as I was walking, I was like, I'm not going to fuck up the shot. So I'm just going to hang out as a crack addict. And it went naturally. I just hung out a little bit, and then he put his hand out, and David must have got nervous that Christian was. Now this is right after the Lily Tomlin thing and Christian, both of them on YouTube.
Oh, yeah,
freaking
the
out.
whole big
I'm working
blowout.
with these
Yeah,
two guys,
yeah.
me by
Wow,
myself,
yeah,
by
yeah.
myself, in
Yeah.
a fucking crack
Right.
house that's like 90 degrees, sweating and the
Yeah.
pressure was so crazy. And so when he did, David came out from the back, and he's like, Costello! Of course, and this is another thing that guys don't realize. A guy won't fight with the other guy. Sometimes he'll dump it on the girl because he doesn't want to fight with the guy.
Right.
That happens a lot, too.
Yeah.
So he was like, Costello, what are you fucking doing? What are you fucking doing?
Right.
And I didn't even flinch. And I went, I'm not doing anything. I go, he had an extra line. And he goes, and David didn't know what to do. And he looked and he looked and he looked and he goes, well, he doesn't want you bothering him. And I go, I'm not bothering him. And Christian goes, yeah, she's not bothering me. And David O'Russell laughed and ran in the back. And I was like, they don't know what to do with me because I don't have the reaction. I'm like, and I probably saved them millions of dollars without having to fight. Imagine if I reacted.
No, I think you always manage to do the right thing in those situations.
I was in the fight with Geraldo and Dennis Leary. I was on that episode.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yes.
that was
remember that one.
great.
Yeah,
That's
I
I
was
remember
in
that
the
one,
midst
yeah.
of
That's
all
right,
of
you
it.
were
And I'm
there.
like, I'm sick
You
of
were,
fucking
you're right.
Geraldo bodied him. Geraldo.
And I was being codependent, and I'm the one
Yeah.
that saved them from fighting. And I was
Oh,
like, I'm
wow.
so sick of saving these guys
Oh,
from
they were
fighting.
getting-
I want my own. I want my time now.
Leary was going to get physical.
Oh, they were literally going to fight. Like, that's why I had to go.
Wow.
I watched
Oh,
myself,
wow.
and I'm like, he's
Yeah.
funny. You're funny. He's funny.
If
And
you
I was
never
like,
saw
oh my
that,
God.
everybody, a tough
It's
crowd, look it
terrifying.
up.
Oh, that was an amazing episode.
Yeah, it's Greg Giraldo versus
You're
Dennis
bringing me
Leary.
back
It's a classic. She was on that panel and broke the two of them up in the classic thing. So that's pretty
They
cool.
were going to
That's
fist
pretty-
fight. And I was scared for my own life. I did it for myself, which I probably should have not done that. I threw myself in the middle.
Yeah, but he was getting.
When he
Oh,
ever
Greg
told
was
me
out of
to
line. I
go.
think he was
No,
mean.
he fucking
He was
went
mean.
right at it.
Oh,
Dennis
man.
deserved
He went
every
for that.
fucking
He did.
hint
He did.
of it.
He was
I
too
don't
big.
care
He
what
was too
anybody
big.
says about Dennis Leary. He deserves every fucking word
He
of
was
it.
too big for his head. Was
He brought his own hair and makeup
Yeah,
person
you
to
could.
Oh,
the
my God.
And Greg was.
And Greg had the
Spilling
cure
all
for
the tea
cancer.
now.
Hey, listen,
Greg
that's
had
what
the
we
cure for
do.
cancer that
Greg
night.
was so smart. Oh, I miss him and I miss Patrice.
Oh,
I
my
miss
God.
Yeah.